It's now 6:30. I'd like to call this March 12th City of Monessen Council meeting work session to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Cosner?
Here.
Councilman Nestor?
Present.
Councilperson Thomas? Councilman Orchakowski?
Here.
Mayor Mosher?
Present.
Hearing we know 4 members present, 1 absent, and no quorum.
All right, thank you. We don't have our person from Orchard Church here. Our Heavenly Father, bless this city. Give us the wisdom to run the city council properly. Give the citizens the voice to speak clearly what they're looking for, and our ears to listen. All these things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to make a note that there will be an executive meeting following this work session for personnel matters. With that said, does anybody have any public comments they'd like to make about agenda items only?
Ernest Telegraphus. I hope tonight, since you have Dennis here, is he in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That we get not generalizations, how beautiful the plan will be, but what details, do they have an architectural drawing? Do they know what the figures are? None of this stuff about trying to get the city incorporated so that they could earn benefits, like you guys fusing money in. If they're going to produce something, they have to have their own private analysis of how they're going to contribute to the welfare of Monessen, not trying to see what they could scrounge around here and there from you guys. So that's number one. Now, number two is this. Our sewage, everything's going up. And I see here you got all of these amendments and attachments to the all kind of lines that we've got, the sewage lines, so you're adding all these figures. Where is this money coming from? Is it all accounted for, or is it new additions to what they're doing out there?
It's all accounted for, and I'll try to explain that a little bit clearer.
Okay, and then one last thing is this, the trucks. How much money are we looking at to get these 2 trucks for the city crew?
Well, one of them was damaged and is covered via insurance, and the other one is not.
Okay, so what are we looking at for an addition?
Somewhere in the neighborhood of a couple thousand bucks.
Just a couple of thousand?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not buying a new truck?
No, not in this process.
Okay, and then one last question. What are we doing about the roads? The roads are terrible, and they're gonna get worse each week going into the spring.
Well, we agreed to advertise 9 new roads.
And 9 roads you're gonna do, from what money?
Excuse me?
Where's the money coming from?
CDBG and P&G.
Who's P&G?
Gas company.
Gas company.
Gas company. And they're gonna do 9 roads total?
Yep.
Okay.
Turn the brain down, we have some feedback going.
Yeah. But the roads that we travel on, they're terrible.
Does anybody else have any comments about agenda items? Do you want to talk about any of them? No. Okay, then we'll continue on then. Does anybody have any old business?
No, Mayor.
My turn to make a couple of comments here. First off, I did circulate to council some grant opportunities that RVE made available to us, and we can talk about those some more. We got lots of time to discuss them, or most of them we got lots of time to discuss. One of them includes the multimodal project that might be able to work at on Parenting. That does not due till July, so we have plenty of time to discuss the pros and cons of that. There are other ones there that if people see that they wanna pursue them, they're welcome to do so, or we'll try on their behalf, one or the other. The strategic forecast meeting is still coming along pretty good. We've got lots of people that are gonna be talking about things. We'll move forward with that as soon as we get closer to things. Yeah, yesterday morning we had a storm that was pretty good. We had over 1.5 inches of water in a matter of an hour or less. That correlates to a 6-inch rain. It was an excellent opportunity for us to see how well what we've done so far has worked. And as a result of that, I went over to the satellite treatment plant. For the first time since they built that satellite treatment plant, there was no bricks and debris in the thing shutting it down. It was clean, it was operating smoothly, and everything worked well. The lines actually that we spent so much money cleaning up have worked. They kept the plant working very smoothly. It was 100-year flood, equivalent to 100-year flood, the rate that it came down in for that hour and a half. So I was quite impressed with what we've done. The only other thing I'm gonna mention is I've got a meeting scheduled with Westmoreland Community Action, the people that are across the way tomorrow, to talk about our NPP and try to get that back on target and working well.
So Mayor, when you were talking about the water from the storm, did nothing get reported about the massive bathtub that's in front of the old garage down here? And the debris that was all over the road? Yeah. Cause when my wife and I left for work at 5:45 to 6 in the morning.
There was debris coming off the hillside, yes.
Yes, but there was so much water there that it was up over our tires. We weren't even sure if we could even get past it.
Like I said, it was a very severe rain.
Doesn't matter when you're trying to go to work and you're trying to have a major intersection that was completely submerged under at least 10 to 12 inches of water.
Well, we're not designed for 100-year rainstorms, and that's what that correlated to.
Well, we might want to consider that going forward because I'm sure that 100-year-old storm's gonna crop up again.
Not to slide past, Mayor, I apologize. I see that Wayne's here. Are we able to get this part of the motion finished first and then continue?
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
Right. We're not, I was gonna do that very
Sorry.
next thing.
Okay, and then we could continue conversations if
Yeah.
that's okay. I don't wanna hold
No.
the owner up. All right,
No.
thank you.
Okay, at this time I'd like to ask Judge Velasic to swear in Fred Nacarado for the Mon Valley Transit Authority. Take a mic.
I'll speak loud enough. Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Fred Nacaretta,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey,
obey,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of this Commonwealth,
of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and I will discharge
the duties
the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just didn't wanna keep him waiting. Now we can go ahead and, I had a feeling this one was gonna be a long one. Sorry, Mayor, I apologize.
No problem.
So, yeah.
At this time,
You were saying that you
at this time I'd like to invite Dennis Martinek to give us an update on the stamp program and where we're at.
So at the last meeting, and I apologize, I could not be here, so I did provide a written report of the scope of work task that we had completed and we've been working on. We've been doing a number of things for the STMP. We've been coordinating with the city. One of the reasons that Rebecca is kind of scrambling to get caught up is, for those of you that don't know, Rebecca's a peer-to-peer individual with the state DCED. She was doing some work in Rankin. So there was some issues down there that she had to attend to. We've talked to George Newsom, who's your representative here from DCED for the stamp. He is very comfortable with where she's going with all this. And I know she's been coordinating with Mike and the city and getting some additional information. So I did talk to Rebecca. She's moving along with that. On our end of things, myself and another person have been working. We've been in the city. We've been gathering up information. We've been doing our background data. We've kind of even expanded our scope from not only, we've gone down to Eastgate and then all the way down the other end along Donner and Schoonemakers. So we're trying to expand to see how we can tie in other parts of the city, because we want to make sure the tax base supports some of the recommendations that Rebecca's going to be doing. We are, once that information is consolidated and the analysis is done, we are going to be doing what they call the step 1 and step 2 meeting with DCED. You'll all be invited. The DCED will be here. That's things that they've changed for this process. We'll be doing, we'll be reviewing the analysis of what she's found from the financial end of things. We'll be doing our report too on what we found, and then also some of the recommendations. That then, after discussing with you, then we refine those things, and then we move into steps 3 and 4. Steps 3 and 4 require another meeting. Then we put the final draft together, and then you all get the final draft, and then step 5, 6. 6 is basically if there was a need for like an emergency, any type of changes in the budget, things like that. But right now she does not see anything like that. So we'll be moving on. Then the final report will be prepared for council, and then you'll have the recommendations. We try to prioritize about 5 or 6 of those recommendations. DCED will be working with us on those. They support those recommendations, and then they have a separate pot of money they can use for just the stamp program. Now they can funnel those to other departments if there are things that can be done with that, but they do like to try to make sure that we get 5 or 6 priorities. We're not going to do a scattershot approach where we're going to give you 30 different recommendations and not any of them have teeth. We want to make sure there are things that you guys can take, move, and it's going to be a lot of it, 90% of it's financial related. The other part will be the tax base that we're working on to go with that. So that's where the stamp is. Anybody any questions on that?
Can you give us some specifics?
Right now, we don't have specifics. We're developing those because we want to make sure we tie in like some of our recommendations from the tax base. That's going to go in with what Rebecca's doing. And again, she is playing catch up with all this, but we will have specifics on when we do the phase 1, phase 2 for you, and you'll get to see those ahead of time. We're not far from that point.
Well, what particular items are you looking at?
We are looking at some of the vacant areas in downtown. From my end of things, Rebecca is going to be all financial. It's all budget, and it's we're looking at the departments, things like that. They're structuring. If there's anything else that needs to be done in regards to organization.
When you say budgets and resources like that, where are you getting that from?
Rebecca's getting that from the city. I know Mike's been in coordination with her, and also she's getting that information from the city itself.
Wait, back up. Getting what information from the city?
Well, she's been looking at budgets, but she's also any other information from any of the departments. Part of her is going to be she's going to sit down with each department and talk to them about the budgets, about things coming up for the next budget.
But the budgets are set. They're not adjustable or fluctuating anymore.
Right, but she's looking at the next budget. She's going to look at the past 5 budgets and get a trend analysis, and she's going to look 5 years into the future and put that in place for the health of the city for the next 5 years. That's what the STMP program does.
Okay.
And then the rest of that, again, is going to be tied in with what we're looking for from an economic development side. We're looking at vacant properties. We're looking at blighted properties. We're looking at ways that maybe some of these buildings, maybe there's some programs out there that I know the mayor's talking about, things like LERTA and that. We're looking at some other best management practices that are going on around the state that we can, and that other cities are doing too, that maybe Monessen can adopt.
So from my perspective, how much exactly on the financial side have you guys been looking into or getting involved into?
She's been gathering that information and she's looked at what she can find online, but as I mentioned, because of what she was doing in her peer-to-peer role, that kind of set her back a little bit. So she is looking at the information that's available to her now, and plus what she's acquired from the city.
I'm just a little confused on what that's supposed to do. I mean, the budget is so tight, it's for operational costs, and that's it. There is no penny for anything else.
Believe me, we know that, Tony. She's looking at what's been going over for the last trends, what we're responsible for, what the state has set up. We look at the last 5-year budgets. She looks at trends, then she gives recommendations for the next 5 years. So she's gonna give you specific recommendations on where maybe things can be cut, not so much cut, but maybe where things can be revised, how the city can maybe help save some money. So, again, that's all spelled out from the state. So we're just following along with their guidelines.
Is this essentially gonna be an overlook at the city's budgeting process to maybe make that budgeting process more efficient?
More efficient,
How those
yes.
dollars, the limited dollars the city gets, because they're capped at pretty much the general fund rate, like 29.99.
Right.
Is this going to assist city council and the administration to look at how they're putting those monies in the different pots?
Yes.
Okay.
And also possibly where other money can be found. If there's other ways that the more money can be brought into the city. She makes those types of recommendations.
Okay, right now I'm skeptical, because nobody has ever said 10 seconds of conversation with me yet.
She is getting there. Believe me, like I said, she was tied up with what she was doing before, so she is coming she will be talking to you.
Okay.
Is this still part of the process? There's like an exit interview for council once the plan's presented. I know that was under, the EIP program the last time around.
What's not even so, she's gonna be talking to staff, she's gonna be talking to everybody, and then on the way out, along the way, council, at mayor, everybody's gonna have a shot at looking at the recommendations, discussing the recommendations. So nothing's gonna be done in a vacuum. We're gonna be putting those recommendations together, presenting them, and then allowing you all to have a chance to react to it and maybe add some of your thoughts and ideas as well.
What's the time frame for this?
We're probably about a month or so. She's finally getting back to where she's getting all the information. Because a lot of that she looks at what she has, does her analysis, and then comes to you, and she needs a basis to talk to everybody too. She just doesn't want to come and start asking questions. She wants to have a basis for why she's asking her questions. Table what?
Nothing to table.
There's nothing to table.
There's nothing.
So
There's
we're not
no
asking them to make, we're not asking them to do anything.
Information.
They can't do anything until they see recommendations, and that's at step 1 and 2 whenever we get to that point. So they're not acting on anything.
Thank you so much.
Well, Donner Avenue, wanted to touch base on that. Donner, again, I talked to Rosewood Tower. They are getting the information from the county that they needed. They're developing the site plan. Our next steps, and you saw on here what we've done already, we are even looking outside again to try to see what we can do to support the Donner Avenue site. We're waiting on a little bit of information to come in on that. That's been tied in a lot to what the mayor's talked about with the strategic forecast. We also, our next step is we want to have a meeting with stakeholders in the city. So the stakeholder meeting is going to consist of about 12 to 15 people. We'd like to have up to 2 council members, mayor and council, whoever you want it to be, because we're going to be doing it during the day. We're going to bring these folks in. We will get back to, we want to sit down with these people, these stakeholders, talk to them about this, get their input on some of the things going on, some of their thoughts and ideas. That's part of the process. So if you read through that, we were going to interview stakeholders. We thought we would do this forum, which might be a little bit different. So once we have that, we will definitely come back. But again, if we had 2 people that wanted to attend, they could also discuss it with you, as part of this.
So what difference is that versus 7 years ago, we went through the comprehensive plan. Or was this just a regurgitation of the same thing?
No,
It
it's
sure
not.
sounds like it.
It's,
To get stakeholders, talk to people in the city and
but
find out what.
we're specifically looking at the Donner Avenue site. We're gonna come up with a plan, our goal, or what our charge was from the scope of work, was to come up with a conceptual plan for that site.
When you say, let's clarify the Donner Avenue Development Plan.
Yes.
What exactly are you referring to?
We're the block across the street from Fifth to Sixth between Donner and Schoonamaker.
Okay. So just that area.
That's what we were charged with doing for this.
So that takes it all the way down to here, right? The bank and everything.
Yes, includes the bank, which city owns, and also the Bylon building, and then the buildings on top, which are mostly, drawing a blank.
Apartments?
No, on this
DDC.
side.
They're DEC.
Douglas, yeah, Douglas. So that, just this block here, Tony, that we're looking at, so we're gonna come up with a plan. That's why we wanna meet with these folks to see if there's any thoughts or ideas that they may have that they'd wanna see in there. Could it be anything from a spec building to maybe something we're not even thinking about that one of these larger employers may wanna see as maybe an offshoot or a spin-off from one of their companies. You know, we talked about this when we were in California Borough a few months back. We talked to them, and they had some really good ideas, and we brought them to the table. So that's why we want to talk to these stakeholders. But the focus of this project, it's not the comp plan. This is more specific for just that site.
Okay, and Rosewood?
Rosewood Tower is they're actually the ones who wrote the grant for the project,
Yes.
but they're going to be doing the engineering and conceptual drawing for the site.
And their fees are coming out of the 75,000 that was done?
Yeah, our team is, they're part of the team. It's, myself and Rosewood Tower, and Downstream Strategies, and then also, who's the other person? Tammy Stenson, who was one of the engineers, or planners on the staff there. So no, everything's covered out of that money there. There's no additional charges or anything. That's part of our process.
Okay.
So when we're done, city's gonna have a plan in front of them. Hopefully, we're gonna have some interest already, because we're through these meetings, we're gonna be trying to draw some interest in for that site over there. And what we're hoping is that you're gonna get a business, 2 businesses, 3 businesses, and you're gonna get some employees, you're gonna get people downtown.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Okay.
May I ask a question? Is this to keep us from drowning, or is there something more constructive in mind? I mean,
When you say, for which project, I'm sorry?
you're talking about doing something with Donner.
Oh, when you say drowning, in which way?
Well, we have a very, we don't have much space
Right.
here.
Well, we're hoping that we're hoping that through this, new businesses will come, and it'll help build your
That's your goal.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
This isn't like a last ditch effort.
All right, let's continue on. We got just be quiet. We got 2 trucks that, are having some issues right now. One of the trucks they're both 2016, F-350, dump trucks. One of them can be repaired for a fee of about $2,807, almost $3,000. That includes the transmission, transmission flush lines and cooler. The other one is one that is covered under insurance. It comes to about $11,600. I've reached out to the insurance company, and they're in the process of upping their thing to cover the cost of that one. But that was through an insurance policy that it'll be covered.
So, if insurance is covering it, and get it fixed.
The gave us an initial estimate of $9,000. It came out at $11,000, $2,000 higher. So we called them up today and said, what are we gonna do? They said they would, they'd get back with us, but they'll up their offer for $11,000.
Right, but it's not like we would tell them, no, but we'll take your $9,000 and put it somewhere else.
No,
We're gonna
you're right,
expect it.
we're gonna get it fixed.
So we gotta get it fixed.
That's right.
It's gonna cost us only $1,000 or $2,000. I don't understand what's with the other truck.
The other truck has got a transmission issue apparently.
And when did we learn this?
I couldn't tell you.
Because this is the first time I know I'm hearing that there's a second truck problem. I've never heard of another truck problem. Does that, anybody else know about that?
I know that we were down 2 trucks. Yeah, but you don't know the details. Well,
The truck went up for a quote, and we got back a quote of $2,807.34. That consists of $967 of parts and $1,800 of labor.
Oh, wait a minute. 2. Did it have to get towed somewhere?
I don't know if the transmission was so far gone it had to be towed, or if it was able to be driven up there. I do not know the answer to that.
When did this happen?
I assume this was during the snowstorm, but I don't know that either.
it's been a few weeks.
Couple of weeks. But there's no PO for towing and there's no PO for
So they
work.
must have driven it there.
Well, then there's no PO for work, so how do you have that if nobody put a PO in?
This is an estimate. This will be an estimate that I will put in for a requisition to see if.
So you haven't placed one
I
yet?
haven't placed, this has not been ordered yet.
Okay, so that's what it is. It hasn't been, there's no PO in the system.
There's no
for it.
PO in the system for this, there's nothing. I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed that we got 2 trucks down. One of them's gonna require $3,000, the other one will be covered via insurance. That was the purpose of this, is to bring everybody up to speed so you guys were aware of it.
Okay.
Ryan Lawrence has looked at the building across the street that used to be the old Citizens Bank building, and he agrees that the most likely candidate for that is demolition as opposed to rehabilitation. The Bylon building will be given to the city under two conditions, one of which is we eliminate the garbage bill that they've been receiving, and 2, we offer some assistance at getting the building cleaned out. The building has not generated any garbage in 20 years, there's not, but yet by ordinance, they are responsible for a garbage bill that has not been paid.
Does Bylon still own the building?
He still owns the building.
If he's
He never wanted to pay anything.
we're talking about the back. That's what he just said, right? I thought that's part of the STEP program. They're trying to look to get rid of it and do something. Why are we doing 2 things?
Well, in order for the Stoddard Avenue development plan assumes that those 2 buildings will be gone. We have the opportunity to get them gone through the county demolition. Now, the building on the right, the Bylon's building, he will give it to the city, so we have complete control over that piece of property. The bank building we already have.
It irks me that he's deciding.
Just we don't need the comments. Now, he has been paying the taxes, he's been paying any of the fines that we've leveraged against him. I did not understand, but he has not been paying the garbage bill. He has put no garbage out to be collected, and therefore he didn't feel responsible. Howsoever, we have an ordinance that says that all businesses or all properties pay a garbage bill.
How come you didn't get fined?
They did. They're trying to put a lien on it. So hence, if we want that building free and clear, we need to clear the garbage liens on it.
How much is it?
I do not know the answer to that. No.
That's a deal.
Under 10,000? Yeah.
3 and 6.
So anyway, that's the status of that.
So all the taxes are paid,
All the taxes are paid.
it's just the delinquent,
Garbage bill.
Garbage.
The garbage is the only issue that we have, that it has settled.
so you're saying if the city forgives that,
Then he will give us the building. And we help him get it emptied out, get his personal stuff out of there. which I can't believe there's anything personal left
Why
in there,
would we
but.
help, I mean,
Why would we even get involved in something like that? Then we'll have everybody else saying, I wanna move, or I wanna do this, or can you guys get our stuff out? The city's not the job to do that.
why don't you just
Well,
take out
if they
eminent
give us the
domain, can't
property,
you
we
do that?
might or might not be, depending on if there's any future of that property. That's prime real estate in the city of Monessen.
Mayor, if you can't control the crowd, I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah. If you guys keep interrupting, we're gonna ask you to leave. Just, there's no need for that whatsoever.
Buildings and eminent domain.
Okay, let's continue on. The U.S. Corps of Army Engineers has given us a contract to repair the boat launch. That does not include the boat ramp, or excuse me, the boat dock. It includes only the boat launch.
You're talking about the part that goes out, not the
Yeah.
barges.
Yeah,
Not
not
the
the barges,
barges.
the actual boat.
The ramp.
The ramp.
The ramp that you you unload your boat on. Now, it really bothers me because you have a nice boat ramp and you unload your boat, you need a place to tie the boat off to so you can go park your car. The Army Corps of Engineers does not feel that that's appropriate, so they will not allow us to spend any money at all on the boat dock.
Well, they had a reason for that.
They did. You can explain
Um,
it.
No, the lock and dam project was supposed to take place somewhere in the mid-1990s. I just dealing with other communities that had similar projects. The plans that I have seen were stamped by an engineer from 1995. The Army Corps' point at this instance was that while the boat ramp may have been there, the boat docks were not there. I think those boat docks were installed at some point in the early 2000s, based on the city's records.
2007 or something like that, yes.
And that was their whole point. Now, there was a mechanism for the city to run it up the chain to get approval to include the boat docks as part of this project. But they weren't real thrilled with going through that process. There was no guarantees that they would approve the inclusion of the docks, and they said it would take quite a long while. And
They discouraged it.
this is one of the final projects up and down the river because of the lock and dam projects that they don't know how much money is left over.
So a couple of points about this. First off, anything that we do to that boat ramp has to be approved by them first. Secondly, they don't, we have to fund it. They don't pay for it until it's finished,
No.
or 25%.
There's reimbursements. I think, hopefully I have the bookmark. There's a certain reimbursement the city would expend for the engineering. I think it's after the engineering designs up to 75%, you would pay the engineers. Once they meet that mark, the city would be reimbursed. I think in terms of construction, the city would be reimbursed at 25% increments.
Okay.
The total estimate of the project is $331,000. I think that's inclusive of the engineering. So, the city will have to front the money to pay the engineering and the contractor.
But we get reimbursed.
Yeah.
It's also not likely to take anywhere close to that $310,000 to extend the boat ramp out. They would not allow that money to be used for anything other than the boat ramp, though.
They made that quite clear on our conference.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that. I understand that quite well. So, next thing is repairs at the city library. We don't have estimates for this, but there are quite a number of lights that need to be, that the ballast that needs to be replaced on. I think that it would be appropriate for us to get quotes and to go through the process of getting that library fixed back up. It is our building, we're responsible for that. It's really a shame to see that go to this repair, which we've allowed that to happen thus far. It's just as a comment, Dave Zilka is retiring in August. In addition to that, Amy in the Treasury Department has been trying to figure out what to do with our 3 we've been using Multilink for do our garbage bills. Multilink does two things, one of which is it prints the garbage bills themselves. And then two, they offer ability for people to go online and make payments. There's only a couple hundred people that do that. For the grand sum of printing those cards and offering that service, they charge, I think it's $13,000 a year for. It's ridiculous. We didn't understand that until just recently. With council's approval, I'm gonna change that to a month-by-month contract tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day that we'll do that, otherwise we're in an evergreen for another year.
I think you voted on it.
Before
vote?
though we terminate them, are they gonna be able to refund a lot of the folks that paid online, like myself, that was charged that full amount? Cause I
If
went
you-
online, I don't see any reimbursement.
There's no way to do that, you have to talk to Amy to get
I
it
did,
reimbursed.
she told me to go to their website and there was a link to go and get reimbursed, and I don't see anything
We'll
in
talk to
here.
Amy again, because that's not working.
Yeah, that doesn't work, so.
But I'm not saying that we're gonna quit this service, I'm just saying I don't wanna commit to it for another full year. We can pay month by month until we're ready to drop it. It might be December we drop it, but,
I think council voted on this, in February.
okay, then I will do that tomorrow. I'll take care of that.
I just can't remember if it was or was not tabled, but.
Now, what she did do, howsoever, was she
think we
prepared
tabled it.
a
It was last
comparison,
meeting.
and I don't know that, is that in our packet here?
Yeah, 'cause I complained
Oh,
about it.
no, we voted
We
for
voted
it.
on it,
We
and
voted, he's voted nay.
I voted nay.
We voted on it, yeah.
So in your packet is a 3D billing proposal for doing the refuge bills. This is the package that they use for doing all the real estate billing right now. It prints all the real estate bills, it keeps track of the totals and everything else. For, I think it's 4,500, is that what it was? Yeah, 4,400, they will integrate the garbage into this system here. I don't know, is there a monthly cost in addition, or does they keep the same cost?
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah.
The fee, configure the payments to, these are, annual subscription fee is $17.50 compared to $13,000. So it's considerably cheaper. I looked at several different ways of doing this. Amy looked at this method. This is one she's comfortable with. This is the one I would recommend that we give serious thought to. If we convert this, when I talked to the guys at Multilink, they said, what's it worth to you? They recognize that we have been a long-time user of their services. They hate to see us leave. How much are we wanting to offer them to do a month-to-month contract for? They said they'd drop it by a couple $100. Anyway, that's where that stands. The city garage with this,
I'm sorry, Mayor, what's the total for that thing again?
for the 3D billing,
Yes.
there's $4,400 of setup fees. And that includes the configuring of the payments, their proposal, it totals up to $4,400, and it itemizes what that includes.
So we're still staying with what we're doing right now, month to month. That's what we voted on.
Until which time is they're up to speed, and we can switch over.
I think this was for 2027, this new proposal.
This can begin at any time we want it to begin.
Well, why would, if we're going to do that, we're gonna stay month to month with what we have, right? Or we can terminate
Only as long
it.
as we have to.
Well, I wouldn't think that this wouldn't change and we wouldn't do this until September.
If you wanna do it that way, that's fine, or otherwise we could do it as quickly as possible and start saving some money.
So they can start collecting on the outstanding 2026
Bills
garbage
as
bills.
soon as they're set up.
You mean like past due bills?
No, current bills.
Still outstanding, they're not delinquent until the end of the year, but, they're in the penalty phase at this point. In other words, you've received the bill, haven't paid, they're able to incorporate that into their new system to collect payments.
Isn't that what, was it Brock? Who do we have?
Those are delinquent,
Those
so
are delinquency,
those are collected the year after.
No, I was just saying, if we're gonna consider doing this, we should do it before garbage bills go out and incorporate the fee in the garbage bill. It'd only be like maybe $1 or 50 cents per person then.
Well, we can do it that way, or we can do it now and save some money, either way.
Well, we don't have the money in the budget to do something like this, so we
We're
can't.
paying $1,000 a month to what we have right now. So you're gonna pay another $9,000 this year if you continue doing what we're doing.
That would be 9,000.
Because it's $13,000 a month, for 12 months, it's $13,000. It's $1,000 plus something.
I thought we could do month to month.
We
That's what we
can,
voted on.
but what I'm saying is we can drop it at any time we want and switch over. As soon as we switch over, we can cut our cost.
Okay. Just trying to understand it.
I personally would like to leave that up to the Treasury Department to figure out what the most effective way to get that done and to get the garbage bills collected myself at the least cost to the city. Okay, we're ready to go on. The city garage, just so everybody knows, has some serious roof issues. We've had people up there several times over the past year. They've patched it here and there. The patches are good patches, but it just keeps getting worse and worse. Other places are developing. They proposed a much more extensive repair. I suggested that we get multiple quotes from that to look at that before we make any decisions on that. But it is something that we really can't put off very long. We do need to get several quotes done as quickly as possible and move forward with getting that fixed. Otherwise, we're gonna be without a city garage.
Is anybody applying for grants to get it repaired?
Grants will take a year or better to get it. Be quiet. No, it doesn't fix roofs.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, boy.
One issue that's been going on for several months is our animal control officer. And there's really two different types of people that you talk about when you talk about animal control. One's an officer and the other is a humane officer. What's the proper names for it? Humane officer and... The point being is one can fine you for tags and things like that. The other can get you for animal abuse and things that we have in Monessen. The bottom line is that we have not had a animal control people. And Chief, you may want to come up and try to explain this a little bit better. It's really the police that are really suffering from this. They don't have the animal control when they need it.
Okay, yeah, there's,
Don't walk off screen.
oh, please. All right, like the mayor was saying, there's two different types of animal control in a sense. You have a dog officer and a humane officer. A humane officer takes care of animal cruelty and more egregious stuff with animals, and mostly dogs, or, you know, pets to say. Then you have a dog officer who does basically the licensing, the rabies checks, that
Dangerous dog.
yeah, dangerous dog is under humane.
Mm.
So what we have now with Who Rescued Who, they are basically dog officers. They do this, they will come out if we have stray dogs, but anything more serious, like the example, the one on McMahon Avenue we had last year, we had to call out humane officers, because of the egregious state that these animals were in. What spurred this on is we've been having some issues with our dog officer of coming out, especially what day was that? I was down here?
Tuesday, I think it was.
Tuesday. We go to call her for a stray animal. She says, she tells 911, because that's how we call her out. I no longer offer services to Monessen. Someone else has the contract. That's what she told this dispatcher, which was relayed to us, and I came right down here to the mayor, Mike, and Joy. Did we change contracts? And no one told me.
Nope.
Nope. No, it's still status quo. I finally got a hold of her, corrected the issue by 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. She was going off of a rumor that she heard.
Does she wanna do business with Monessen at all?
No,
So-
she's, well, let him finish.
We've had some issues in the past, which we have been talking about this probably for the last, on and off for the last 6 to 8 months, about renewing, trying to find a new animal, service.
Right.
Officer Schrader, who we came down today.
Now, basically what we did is we kinda came up with a concept of, Officer Schrader's very much invested in the animals. She believes in animal safety and all that, very much so. She also is very familiar with a lot of the dog catchers in the area.
Mhm.
She knows who the people are and what about them. I think that as council, what we ought to do is we ought to sit down and develop a RFP. And only so far as what we expect an officer, animal control to be doing for us. And then we give that to Rebecca and let her go out and research the companies that are out there, what they can and can't do for the city, with some guidelines of what we're actually looking for. And at the conclusion of that, I would expect her to come back to city council and make a proposal to us of this is who we ought to use as a professional service. Because it is a professional service, we don't necessarily have to do advertising of bids and so forth in the same way. But I think it would be appropriate to develop something for Rebecca that she knows what kind of person we're looking for. And to that end, I would invite council to give us any ideas they'd like to see in that. We will develop something, circulate it around council. And then I'd like to charter Rebecca as the person to go out and find a company that'll do what we expect it to do.
Yeah, 'cause like for an example, one of the animal services we had in the past, we never had the issues we currently have. With response, with, usually if we would call them, they take everything, they take the ball and run with it. But again, I trust in Officer Schrader for this. She is well vested. She has all the contacts with pretty much anyone in this area with any kind of animal, from volunteer services to, these dog catchers. And it's very slim pickings when it comes to animal control officers. There's hardly any. So she has a homework assignment.
That's what we'd like to do. Council's comfortable with that? That's the way we'd like to proceed.
How many calls a year do you get?
I couldn't tell you off by the hand. We range with probably a couple a week. And it differs. We have highs and lows. Like, there could be weeks that we're constantly dealing with dogs, and we could go a month or two and not have a dog call. Then it comes back and it's, I would have to actually go down and pull the records to see how many times we've had a dog incident. We've had stuff in the middle of the night where we needed, case in point, there was a lady having a medical emergency in her house, and she had 3 pit bulls, I believe, that were aggressive, and we needed a response quickly from an animal service. I can't remember the timeline where our animal control was able to get there, but they were able to actually get her out of the house with the dog still in the house, and I can't remember how they did it, but we do have some type of service. We do have Like, we have a dog pole in the car, in case of, you know, we pull up and there's dogs fighting or something like that, or stray dog we can't get to. You know, that's where we need something like, try to find someone with a quick response, try to find someone a little bit more dependable. And it's, you know, it's not during the day, Monday through Friday, where we're having the issues. We're having the issues at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. You know, so, where, you know, that's whenever everything goes wrong. So, again, I trust Officer Schrader will have give you a good amount of information in regards to this.
Thank you.
Yes, Karen?
When I was out and about, somebody said that there's been dogs running loose down at the boat launch, that they like to walk down there, and there's people just have their dogs off leash. I just wondered if your officers could check that out a little bit more. Springtime's coming, everybody wants to be out.
Yeah.
They said they felt unsafe with these dogs loose.
But no one called us.
No, well, they probably wouldn't, and
No.
I don't know who they were, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they're out and about, maybe swing down there and see if they know.
Yeah, they
anybody.
usually make some passes, but, you know, we have that throughout town. You have, there's a couple people who like to let their dogs off leash
Yeah.
and let them roam. They've been warned. I think some have been cited for it in the past. So, you know, that's, again, if we don't know, we can't do anything about it.
I know.
So,
Anybody else have any questions for him?
No.
Thank you. You got anything else you wanna talk about?
well, the next thing on the agenda is me too.
There you go. Oh, yes. So, turns out that we have ordinances that don't necessarily match the speed limit signs. And this is something that we need to correct.
So, we've had some, all throughout town, always speed problems, traffic problems. We started monitoring, up on Pennsylvania, and where it's posted 15 miles per hour. Well, there's no ordinance to support 15 miles per hour in our ordinances on Pennsylvania. So, I look at the ordinance, it says Grand Boulevard is supposed to be 35 miles per hour. It's posted 25.
Now,
We've
don't
been
suggest
enforcing
people-
25 since, I've been here since 2004. So,
You just need to bring them into correlation with each other.
we need to update this. I gave the mayor, I don't know if you handed them out yet, or this little packet I dropped off.
I think that's in the packet, is it not?
Mm-mm.
No?
Alright,
You have
well,
a list of,
I do, in here, I do have, by reading this, when I was in the back here rereading it, on like, there are certain sections, like Euclid Drive, it's posted 20 miles per hour, no ordinance on it, but it's only posted going up the hill on the east side of the street, nothing coming down. Is there another one? Park Manor is posted 15 miles per hour. Now, with that being private property,
I think it's a public
it's
street,
public.
so.
There is one question I have here for you there, Joey, in my little note here. So Grand Boulevard posted 25, ordinance 35, but right there between St. Paul's and Grand Plaza, it's posted school speed limit 15 miles per hour when children are present. It's posted going down, coming up. Does that need an ordinance on it?
Probably.
Okay. So, again, like I was saying
There's
with
probably one on Watkins too.
there is an ordinance on walk-ins, there is a,
Does it establish the school zone and the speed limit?
it has Ross Draver Street 15 miles per hour from the west side of the intersection of Ross Draver Street and Montraver Drive to the intersection of Ross Draver Street and Marion Avenue in both directions, school zone.
Okay.
Also, Watkins Avenue, 15 miles per hour from the intersection of Ross Draver Street and Watkins Avenue to the east side of the intersection of Watkins Avenue and Grand Boulevard, school zone. There's none on, and again, as I'm looking at this, none on state for the high school.
There's school zone signs on State
There's
Road,
schools,
too.
and it's flashing zones, flashing lights there on there too.
Okay.
So I don't know if that needs to be addressed also. So there might be some more work I need to put into this, but like, citing Pennsylvania code, like Pennsylvania Boulevard between Overhill, it gets marked around Overhill to about Monessen Boulevard is the 15-mile-per-hour zone. Maybe taking that down from Monessen Boulevard all the way down the state, making that whole way up there 15, because enforcement, if we're gonna change speed limit signs, first, it's hard to sit up there. Secondly, you can only enforce after 500 feet after the posting of the speed sign. So that puts us, only gives us a couple feet to play with in between both those zones. So, I'll amend this, and I have this saved, so I'll just send it out to email to everyone. In the packet, I do have the, vehicle code in there for max speed limits and for, speed timing devices, where it has the 500 feet, law in there.
How much is there to what you put, chief?
Yeah, you could. I have another.
And these are what you would like to see, or these are what
Yeah,
are
the-
Those are
posted?
discrepancies.
Yeah, there's
So
some.
it says 3rd Street, 15 mile an hour from Schoonamaker to East 3rd Street. I'm assuming there's a 15 mile an hour sign.
Yes,
We just need the ordinance to match up with that.
yeah. Yeah, and the 3rd Street, 15 miles per hour from Schoonamaker Avenue to East 3rd Street, which is 3rd Street Extension. I don't think it's marked all the way up there, but it is posted down at the bottom and towards, right around Valley Manor, up the road some. It is posted 15.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's where, some of these come into play. Like I don't know, they just put signs up, but you can't enforce it because it goes back to state law if there's no ordinance, which makes it a 25-mile-per-hour zone.
Correct. I could probably have this ordinance done, for the council meeting this month.
Okay,
For the first reading.
Yeah.
There's a couple other little things that we just talked about there. I'll shoot you off an email if you want.
Yep.
And then we could just get it all added in and.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you, chief.
This time I'd like to turn it over to Tony to do some bills.
Thank you, Mayor. Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the general fund in the amount of $87,791.58.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the recreation account in the amount of $168.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor.
Aye.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the line usage fund in the amount of $867.76.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the parks fund in the amount of $1,351.37.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the grant fund in the amount of $1,601.95.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve the transfer of $78,774.56 from the general fund to the payroll account.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve a sewer rehabilitation project Phase 3 and payment requisition and a certificate number 41 in the amount of $206,826.75. It is for Phase 3 work performed by WC Engineers, Inc. from February 1st, 2026 to February 28th, 2026 in the amount of $52,131.70. Also included is an invoice from Insight Pipe Contracting LLC for work performed from February 1st, 2026 through February 23rd, 2026 in the amount of $5,025.44, and one invoice from MCSP for the work performed, from February 1st, 2026 to February 13th, 2026 in the amount of $195,676.25. The total of requisition 41 is $252,833.39, less a correction for MCSP invoice number 8, which was erroneously listed at $315,985.62, but was correctly paid at $269,978.98. The total of requisition number 41, less the overpayment list of requisition number 27 of $46,006.64 is now $206,826.75.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let me explain what all this is here real quick if I can. First off, everybody should be aware that this is USDA loan money. This is actually, I think we're still winding that up. But this is being paid for probably through a combination of USDA and the grant fund, because we're at that funny area there. We overpaid them at one point. We're taking that $46,000 off what we're paying them. So the total amount that was added to our loan is $206,826.75. That's the magic number that everybody should be paying attention to. With that said, call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve the transfer of $3,500 from the general account to the healthcare account.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to transfer the amount of $100,000 from the tax anticipation note to the general fund account.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes. You done?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Nobody provided me with any totals.
I sent you the totals earlier today.
Earlier today?
Yes. Not much earlier. Well, I'm fine with it if you are.
Fire escrow account has a balance of, I just got these, $112,303.02.
That's a lot of money in there.
On the fire escrow, yes.
General fund has $230,600.90. Wish I'd had these earlier. Grant fund has $206,416.80. Healthcare fund has $4,688.89. Paving escrow has $193,206.60. Payroll fund has, I have two more, I'm sorry. $40,422.55. Oops, didn't want that to happen. And the refuge fund has a total of $429,491.50. And the TAN note has a balance of, I think I know that off the top of my heart, $302,880.70. So hopefully that's the last transfer we'll have to make out of the TAN note. That's my report, Mayor.
Very good, thank you. Does anybody have a report for Lois? Okay. John, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Honorable Mayor, members of council, administrative staff, citizens of Monessen, I'll go ahead and defer my report until our next meeting.
Okay. Karen, your turn.
All right, I'd like to defer my report to the end of the month, but, I wanna talk again about our benches in the city park and also around other places in Monessen. 2 summers ago, I went around and I looked at all the benches that I could find and where they were, and then I looked at them and I ranked them, whether they were in poor condition, fair, good, or excellent. And you look at how beautiful this floor looks when you walked in. I think all of us were very much impressed. My goal is that when people see our town and our parks, that they are equally impressed by the cleanliness of them and how nice they look. And I thought some of these benches have probably been there for decades. And what I would like to do is, I also have the name of the people who, they're memorial benches, and try to get in touch with their family, sending a letter to the family and say, you have 30 days to either repair or remove the benches entirely. After that, our public works guys could remove the benches. We could take the little memorial plaques off of them, and if we can't find anybody, until we decide what we're gonna do with those, just so it cleans things up. Some of them, though, the wood is broken and they're really a safety hazard. And then I thought, you'll notice all these white metal benches we have here, we have them in front of the library. Again, I think they're an eyesore. I don't like them, and I don't know that they'd even be worth taking them out of there and sandblasting them and then repainting them. But moving forward, if anybody wants a memorial bench, it would be nice to have some of those nice benches like they have at city parks to put out here or put in front of the library. What do y'all think about that idea? To have a plan to actually this summer either get rid of them, or if somebody out there wants to repair them, they're welcome to say, you know what, I'll repair them and I'll take all the old wood off, replace it. I wouldn't recommend painting it, because if you paint it once, you're gonna paint it again. But that's what I would like to do with the benches. Does anybody have any thoughts on that plan?
The only concern I would have is 30 days may not be appropriate for all benches, but 30 days might be adequate for them to come to you to
Right.
request additional
Right.
time.
To tell me, this is my bench, this is what I'm gonna do with it. But if I don't hear from them in a timely manner, then we'll take care of them, we'll get them out of there.
Okay.
That's what I would like to do. And, I think I had sent everybody this list, if you notice of any more that weren't on the list. And then, another thought I had about the swing sets, and mostly the ones that are on the upper level of city parks. Again, I walked around this weekend and I thought, what are we gonna do to make things look a little more attractive? So I contacted Mark Katarski, who came last summer, and we toured everything, and he was the director of Westmoreland Public Works. He isn't there anymore, but another man, Brandon Simpson, gave me the name of you have to have certifications to inspect playgrounds. But this Mark Ford, who did North Bell Vernon and a lot of other playgrounds, gave me a wealth of information, grants that I didn't even know existed through DCED. He said there's a grant, it's called GTRP, so I printed it online, and it tells us exactly what we have to do to get some of this grant money. The grant has to be in by the end of April. But again, is this something worth pursuing? He said we would need to go to our state rep and the state senator and try to get a match for this. But maybe we could, I would like to see updated playground equipment, and maybe a few pieces that were for handicapped people, or maybe I don't know how you become handicapped. Say you're even an older person. Wouldn't it be nice? I don't know, Linda, maybe you'd like to swing on a swing, but you're afraid to get on a swing anymore. To have something that we could have more of our population involved with, other than just children. I know it has to be out there. So.
Back in the day, did they have those like baskets or something that people climb into that was like a bench?
Yeah, and playground equipment, go online and price it. It's stunning, the expense. However, if we have a little area that the kids can use, I think that would be great. So how do everybody feel about me trying to pursue this? I need help though. I can do the narrative, but getting around on these grant sites, I don't have that experience. But I'm willing to do whatever I can to see that we have this, if somebody can help navigate those sites with me. So, does anybody have any thoughts?
I'll encourage you. I'm not an expert either.
Any? So, who would that? Not that I know of. I don't know. So, but that's out there. There's a possibility we could get this. And I even said to his name's Mark. I said, "Is this feasible? Do you think we could actually get this finished and get it in?" And he says, "I don't see why not." So, I don't know, but I
I
brought
doubt
it.
if there's a lot of competition for those dollars either.
That's what I've heard. I don't know. And we, because of our depressed status, I think there's more money out there for us. We look good when it comes time to apply for grants. But, you know, if nobody wants these, then I won't pursue it because,
I think it's a good idea.
you know, I don't know.
I'd say give it your best shot and I'll help you with senators and congressmen.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, we have a really good relationship, I think, with these people. They know who we are. So I had that, and yes, well, he's a good guy. He's always been good to us. But another thing I wanted to mention while I have a captive audience are some things that's going on in the community. Is on there's an Easter celebration at the Civic Center on Saturday, March 21st from 10 to 12, and there's games, fun, and refreshments. So if you know of any children out there who would like that, I think that's a great idea. Then on Thursday, March 26th, we can all go here before we come to the council meeting. It's called Chat and Chew, and they can go there and learn how you can receive no out-of-pocket costs for preventive cancer screenings. That's 5 to 7 on Thursday, March 26th. And then on June 20th, Saturday, the police department is sponsoring a Mike Kellerman Memorial Cornhole Tournament, which I have no idea what that would entail, but it's there's all kind of information on our website if anyone out there is interested. I think you've done this before, I was told, and it was a great success.
Yeah, we did it last year.
Okay, so I just wanted to make people out there aware, who are listening to me, that these things are going on in Monessen. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else?
No, Mayor.
Would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion at 7:41.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.